Hello, my friends. My name is Adam, and I'm attempting to be the most prolific reviewer of all time. And to do that, I get myself into weird little side quests. One of them is to beat every NES game by cheating. And I recently did that on stream, and the game was called 1942. It's a Capcom joint, I guess you would say. And it was published, I think, in 1985 for arcades, and then it was ported shortly thereafter to the NES. And it spawned probably a more famous sequel, at least more famous to me, called 1943. I remember playing that one on the NES when I was a really little lad. The problem, though, is that 1942 takes all of the bad stuff of 1943, and I didn't actually like 1943 in the end because I found it repetitive. The enemies do the same thing all the time. The 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 ground or ocean that you're flying over is also repetitive, but it does have some fun things. Like you are this pilot of this plane and you have like crazy laser power ups. You can lightning your enemies to death, so that's fun. But in the first end, there is music in 1943, but in 1942 there's no music, which is really boring. The power ups, there is like a laser power up, but it doesn't look as good because obviously it kind of feels like a higher level of an Atari game, to be honest. Like the sound effects are very repetitive. The enemies do the same thing. Like in 1943, they have the same patterns. So if you see an enemy, you're like, oh, it's going to do that. And there are, I believe, 32 stages. And in 1943, at least, there are regular boss battles. But in 1942, the only boss that you have to, and you have to sink ships. In 1942, the only boss battle you have is against a plane, like a bomber. And when you finish, in 1943, when you're playing that game, there's like a fake out finish because the arcade version had less levels than the NES version did. So there's like, oh, all the enemies are gone. Psych. I mean, they don't say psych, but like, oh, it's all, they're coming back. It's a trap. And then you have to play like another, I don't know, 10, 12 levels, stages. And then you get to the end and there's like a nice little cutscene. Like you won the war, you're going home, you're calling your girlfriend, you know, victory. But in the 1942, when you win, it's like, congratulations, you have won. And then a few credits, and then it's back to the menu again, which is so disappointing. So disappointing. Yeah, so I don't like either version of this game, like 1942 or 1943, but if you were going to choose one to play the 1943 version. It's a little bit more interesting. What do you think about 1942? If you have any thoughts, put them in the comment section down below. If you like what I do, if you support what I do, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. I'm trying to get to 20 subscribers by the end of June, and we have 14 right now, so I think that's completely doable. And trying to get to 3,000 views, so I think that's also completely doable. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.